Dear Father, everything is changing so fast, it's difficult to keep track. It seems everyone here is being pulled into some kind of adventure, one of those where you can tell nothing will ever be the same again. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I suppose I should start at the beginning, when Lord Luther Lockwood invited James and I to a party. Well, and our dear Professor Penwise too.
Across Kelybrook, the grand river Miathu runs across green fields and dark forests on its way to the sea. Across the river mouth strides the industrious city of Ealanwick. Piers and cranes stretch out into its natural harbor, choked with ocean-faring merchant ships offloading their goods to travel upriver to the capital. Crowded cobblestone roads lead away from the docks into the city proper. At the end of one such road, many buildings sit in want of repair and a fresh coat of paint. Among these buildings, we find the dockworkers' favorite pub to blow off steam, the Dicey Cantina. Under a faded gold-lettered sign, there is a much less elegantly painted plank of wood with an ampersand and the letters INN underneath. Inside the bar stands a tall, burly man wearing a toque and a black sweater, cleaning a glass with a rag and smiling while he listens to his patron. Beside Brack, in the corner of the bar, is an even smaller sign with the word vacancy crossed out. While listening, there's a loud thud on the ceiling above Brack that catches his attention. Looking up, he just smiles and shakes his head. Up the top of a rather narrow staircase in the back of the pub is a small attic room. There's a small bed in one corner with a traveler's trunk, a worn rug in the middle, and a skylight window whose only view is the sky. Ivy picks up a peculiar-looking brass lens contraption off the well-worn rug and hands it to James, who is atop a precarious pile of chairs and boxes trying to access the skylight window. Welcome to our brand new podcast. Mark, would you introduce James to us?
James McCullough is standing on top of this wobbly set of crates and boxes. He's wearing a white shirt with the top buttons unbuttoned. His vest is unbuttoned and his tie dangles out of his back pocket. He's average height with brown hair and brown eyes. He's working on a little mustache that he may or may not shave off in the next few days. He has the physique of someone who rides bicycles for leisure, but not for sport. James is 24 years old and has been teaching at Ealanwick University for a few years, and, well, he's about done with it. He's ready for something new. Ready for whatever comes next.
And Crystal, will you introduce us to Ivy, who's handing this peculiar object to James?
Next to this wobbly furniture tower stands Ivy Cunningham, very curious about what her local friend is trying to do up there. She's watching closely with her bright hazelish eyes, her long wheat-colored hair loosely held up with a piece of navy velvet ribbon, and she's dressed modestly in a nice light blue linen dress. She is 21 years old. Ivy's father is a diplomat in the capital. She's an artist with a couple years of formal education in fine art. That having just concluded, she's gone off to Ealanwick, this big city, as she's old enough to be on her own. She's going to hone her craft in sort of a post-gap year situation. Can kind of picture something like an Alice in Wonderland gone off to college. She's excited to take in the scenery and the grand parks. She's going to work on her plein air pastel painting along the rivers and canals and visit the seaside for the first time. She wants to develop her skill and explore the world, never having gotten to really visit anywhere outside of her hometown before.
So this peculiar brass lens contraption that you're handing up to James, this is a projector of sorts, a newfangled invention with the invention of photography and even some motion photography that's gone on. There is the idea that if you can get this situated in the window, it may project the image of the harbor that you could see on the wall. What kind of directions do you give James to situate this contraption?
You brought this thing in here. Be careful up there. Don't fall. Have you got the window open yet? Let me know what to do and I'll hand it up to you.
Yes, I'll take it. These new camera obscuras. You should be interested in this as an artist. This well, I'll say it's cool.
Is that what they say these days?
It's what they're saying out in the East.
Must be colder there.
Yep, just hand it up now. I'll take it. Thank you.
Did you invent this?
Oh, no.
Where'd it come from?
I borrowed this. We have to be very careful.
Oh, okay.
This is university property.
I will hold it with 2 hands now. Thanks for that tip.
So as James opens the skylight window, the camera pans up and gives us a bright, wide view of the harbor and the smokestacks of the industrious Ealanwick city. And as it zooms across the street in the second floor window is a veteran soldier looking out of the window box there. And as we come inside, we enter Lockwood and Pickleson's apartment. Julia Lockwood is visiting, and I think that is why Pickleson is hanging out the window a little bit more than he normally does. AJ, will you introduce us to Pickleson?
Professor Penwise Pickleson, also known as Penny to some, is a tall, slender man. He has a large, well-kept mustache. If he's out on the porch, he is more than likely smoking his pipe with the doors closed as not to puff smoke in to disrupt Lockwood's sister, because nobody wants to do that. He's smoking his pipe. He often can be found staring out into the distance, pondering things. He has a pile of books that he reads rather slowly, and he has a journal that he keeps notes on. He is often found wandering the streets at night in his long, oil-slick coat and his wide-brimmed bush hat, carrying a cane. Though it is out of fashion, he still feels comfort in walking around the city at night.
And in the other room sits Luther Lockwood with the great Julia Lockwood, the older sister, standing there. Before we get into the conversation that they're having, Chris, will you introduce us to Luther?
Oh, absolutely. So, Lord Luther Lockwood, he is 30 years of age. He's slightly younger than Penny. He's slightly thinner than Penny, at least smaller stature, and slightly shorter than Penny, ironically enough. But yet, he makes up for all of that with his braggadocious air about himself. He basically has brown sweatback hair, clean-shaven gentleman, as of, the stature needs to be for, nobles in the city, of course. He's not interested in growing a beard or a mustache like his counterparts of the day. Does everything that he can to probably counteract that in some regards. He's sitting actually wearing a nice vest, traditional clothes, of course, of the era, with a white shirt, underneath shirt, and that kind of thing. Buttoned down a little bit, probably more than his sister would appreciate. And that's pretty much... Oh, his eyes would be brown. So brown hair, brown eyes. Typical. Yeah, not really anything out of the ordinary there.
Lady Julia Lockwood stands before her younger brother, her hair intricately arranged into a small pompadour topped with a bun, pinned with a jeweled comb. Her periwinkle blouse and skirt are meticulously tailored and are in contrast to Luther's relaxed outfit. Julia looks at Luther with a stern look on her face.
I simply cannot take no for an answer, Luther. Not this time. The prince is having a gala to celebrate the coronation of the Empress, and we are all required to be there. You can't stay here in this hovel. You must attend. You must bring guests. Absolutely, the Lockwoods will not tolerate the appearance that we are not of the appropriate social standing.
Okay. I think I understand what you're saying, dear sister. I do understand the situation that you were in, but I think I'm coming down with something in my throat, and I really don't want to give that to the guests. That would be very poor form.
You can bring a handkerchief.
But I seem to misplace them. Do you happen to have one that I could borrow?
She pulls from her sleeve a handkerchief.
Oh, you actually have one. Thank you. Thank you, my dear. How many should I bring?
Tonight, 8 o'clock. with a minimum of 3 guests.
Minimum.
Yes, but more would be... I don't want to have unrealistic expectations of your abilities, Luther.
Julia.
I know that these aren't the things you want to attend, but this is the celebration of the coronation. There is no world where not attending with an entourage is an option.
Okay. All right, fine. I will do it. I won't be happy about it, but I'll do it.
I know. I won't ask you to be happy about it, but you need to be at the prince's estate at 8 o'clock tonight.
Okay. Question. You haven't said it, but I must ask, are you expecting me to wear that? And he points over to, like, the outfit that is hanging up nearby that she has brought with her.
And I expect your guests to be equally well dressed.
Oh. That's... okay. All right.
I have done you the favor of establishing a tab with our favorite tailor.
Oh. Okay. All right.
So if you don't wear this, you must wear something of Carlyle's approval. I've spoken to him at length of what you must wear.
All right, then. I will do my best, dear sister.
You will simply do it. Penny, as always, it was nice to see you. I believe you heard 8 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am.
At the prince's estate?
8 o'clock at the prince's... Yes.
This time zone, not another one.
Yes, it's across town. Why would there be a
Sister, I'm pulling your leg.
I must go get ready. If you are not there, I will know, and there will be consequences.
Oh, believe me, I understand that one loud and clear, sister. I will not disappoint you. Much.
We will make an appearance.
Thank you, Penny.
My pleasure.
And she turns and leaves the apartment.
Oh, sweet Mother Superior.
A visit from your sister is always a wonderful thing, isn't it?
I mean, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not.
She's so delightful.
She is when she's reprimanding me constantly. I agree. It's wonderful.
I had a school teacher just like her.
You are a school teacher just like her.
I am. I long to be, right?
Professor. Yes.
You that. Do that. You that. Do this. Now.
Well, I mean, you do tend to do that. It's more along the lines with your fists or your other weaponry. But, you know, it's...
Being a fencing teacher is, you know, you have to use the weaponry that you need.
Agreed. Would you say that Julia's verbal fencing is up to par?
Well, she puts us in our place quite often, so I would say absolutely.
With the open window down at the street, you hear Julia's voice.
Luther, do not let the day get away from you. 8 o'clock.
Oh my good Lord. He leans out the window. Yes, Julia. Be safe.
She enters a carriage and it rides down the street.
She heard all that, didn't she?
I don't know that she heard it,
of course
but she definitely suspected that you might dawdle. You definitely took it as she was aware that you didn't follow her out to do the bidding that she has given you.
Yes, not immediately. No. I have to have my timing.
If I had a gold piece for every time I've heard, Luther, don't let the day get away from you, from your sister, I would be a rich man.
You would be a rich man indeed. I can't argue with you on that point, Penny. So how exactly are we going to... First off, I need to find people available to go to this count. Minimum of 3. I mean, that's 1.
Well, I'll count. I'll go. Yeah, come in.
Okay. Well, you have to go. I mean, it's obligated.
I know, but I'm voluntold in my service.
Well, I do appreciate that. So should we see about... What about Ivy? I hear that James is in town too. Maybe we can talk them into this, but getting them in the outfits, that's going to be the difficult part.
Oh, I'm sure he'd fuss and moan and complain, but he's young. He could use a new outfit. After all, you know, a professor needs to look his part.
True.
Plus, if he wants to get funding for, you know, another venture off into the bush, you know, making people notice you, you know, showing up to these things will help you.
With funding. Yes. All right, well, let's do them a solid and bring them along to this torture. I mean, this wonderful coronation that we're going to be going to just enjoy.
Well, we can hit the pub after.
After. Not before?
After, because if we go before, we won't ever make it to the coronation.
Oh, and then I would be dead. Yes, okay, good point.
Yes.
Very good point.
Yeah.
You do know that Ivy lives above the pub.
Uh-huh. Which is right across the street.
So you guys are heading across the street?
Yeah, we're already... What?
I was wondering, does our flat look over to the pub?
Yes.
Oh. You're already looking out the window.
We're already looking out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Can we observe?
There isn't a window into the attic room, though, right?
Oh, okay.
It's just the skylight, right?
The skylight's the only window, and
Okay.
it faces away from the street, towards the harbor.
Okay, so we wouldn't see anything going on with the skylight.
Yeah, they're
anyways.
just over the...
Unless we were on the roof like we've totally not done before.
Although James could be out on the roof. How are you installing this camera, Obscura?
Well, these things they tend to be on the big side. I think we're just setting it on a sill and allowing it to project inward, looking in at the upside down image on the opposite wall of the harbor and the ocean.
So yes, you guys will have to cross the street in order to visit.
Then we should do that. Well,
Yes.
no time like the present. I guess we need to get going, don't we?
Well, if we need to get fitted, then get our outfits ready. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I'm already fitted. He points over to the outfit on
Oh,
the side.
I don't know if that's flattering for you.
It's not supposed to be flattering. You know my sister.
You just stay on the better side of your sister. I wouldn't want to have to wear that.
Look, just because it's a lovely shade of lavender doesn't mean that it's that garish. Oh, wait, it has those poofy ruffle things. Come on, let's go before I lose my nerve.
Always lavender.
So as you guys make your way across the street, we're back in Ivy's apartment, having looked at this projection on the wall. It's no difficult task to just make it up the back stairs and make it to the door. Ivy, how have you arranged your furniture? What does your apartment look like now that James has finished setting up this projector?
It's all moved around right now. Not that there was much. I didn't have a lot. I had a trunk and a small desk and a twin size bed and maybe a little table next to it. And now things are just sort of moved off and not the furniture's all kind of haphazard because we had to take things to stack things on the chair and the desk and all that for him to get up there.
Oh, so y'all already took down the stack of things.
The room is all misplaced because we had to
Okay.
take things and stack them.
James has been talking about the artistic usefulness of a camera obscura and how they've been around for 1,000 years, but have only recently become portable, more utilitarian. I think he's got his book that he's been working on out, and he's sketching the harbor, making notes in the margins about mermaids, serpents.
I am standing on top of the stack now that he's sitting there drawing what's on the wall, and I'm maybe foolishly trying to see if I can see out of it, like if it's like a periscope side of thing and I have a better view, because it used to just be the sky. How does this work again?
It works like the lens of your eye. It takes the image and you see the pinhole on the outside. It basically focuses the image through it. And as it projects on the wall, it flips as your eye does and your brain compensates.
Huh. Well, thanks for bringing it.
I've heard of some people using mirrors to make it so that we can see these things the right way.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be sort of like a periscope situation. Like maybe we'd get an actual view in this room. So not through it, but the projection is just projecting.
It just projects. That's right.
I will climb down now.
So, as I was saying, Penny, knock, knock.
Come in. She doesn't care who it is. She's not very thoughtful about her safety.
Opens the door. Opens the door. Well, this is different. Penny, can you please come help Ivy before she breaks an ankle or something?
Miss Ivy, you're going to break an ankle climbing up there. Here, come down.
Thank you.
Oh, Penwise, Luthi. We were setting up a camera obscura. Have you seen these before?
I have seen them before. I've not seen one in action before, James. This is fascinating. Where did you get your hands on one?
Oh, the university. Borrowed it.
When do we have to give it back?
Before they find out I borrowed it.
Oh,
That's fine. We'll cover for you on that one. As a matter of fact, I'll cover for you on that one, but I need your presence today. My two wonderful, most favoritist people in the world next to Penny. Would you like to go to Well, we have a thing we need to go to tonight, and I need to bring some people along with me.
Is it a boring thing?
Oh, absolutely.
No, it'll be fantastic.
He just looks over Penny.
Yeah, but give him the bad news.
Oh, well, okay. So the bad news is that my sister, as you all know, Julia, has requested that we are fashionable for such an event. You don't need to buy anything. It's all been paid for and taken care of. But I do need to get you to get fitted into something that we all can look presentable in tonight.
I can send for one of my dresses from. I can get my mother to send something. How long do I need?
More bad news. More bad news.
Tonight at 8, and
What?
it's tonight at 8, not in a different time zone, and it is it's Julia.
The coronation. It's the coronation.
It's the coronation, and it's Julia.
It doesn't matter. But Ealanwick and you all are citizens of the Principality of Kelybrook. The Empress, who was just recently coronated, is from Kelybrook. She is the niece of the prince, the ruler of your principality. And so he is throwing a magnificent ball in celebration of this new coronation, of the fact that the Empress is from Kelybrook.
Like the Empress herself will be like a guest of honor?
No,
She's not going to be there.
she will not be in attendance. She has pressing matters in the capital, far to the east, up the river.
That's very soon, and seems like it would be crowded.
Absolutely, your schedule's free.
Are
Yep.
you sure?
I'm absolutely sure. Please, I will. I will be in your debt.
Will there be dancing?
Your face.
There.
I don't think it's mandatory.
Okay, that was my next question.
I don't think it's mandatory.
Good.
We'll make up an excuse so that you don't have to be mandatory.
So there will be dancing, but we don't have to.
Oh, I'm sure that they will have the swan song of the Kelybrook as per custom, but whether you're in center stage or not.
I mean, it is a celebration. Would you not want to have a celebration without dancing?
It's true.
I wouldn't mind it.
I do hope you'll show us some of your famous moves, Luther.
Oh, no, probably. No, that's not what we're doing. We're going to take you and we're going to make sure that everyone gets fitted. Again, I am in your debt. Please. I don't want my sister mad at me. Of all people, I can deal with my mother, but not my sister.
And on the plus side, you could look at it as making connections, Professor, with
There's free food.
and there's free food and new clothes.
And we can come back down to the pub later.
Could use a new jacket.
You could,
I'm wearing lavender.
It'll look good on you.
Shall I call this a carriage? I assume since we are down at the docks that Julia's tailor would be uptown.
Definitely uptown for sure.
It definitely would not be in the same area of town. For whatever reason, all of you have decided to shun high society in some way and have taken up residence in the less than affable parts of town.
Can we call a carriage?
Probably best bet, yes. Yep, I will call a carriage.
Do I need to pack anything? What should I bring? Are we going straight there?
It's 8, and it's not that time yet, so I think we're at least going to get fitted, and then they will call us back whenever everything's ready. So we have time to do other things.
But we probably should get fitted first.
Because distractions. Don't let the day get away from you, Luther.
Luther, don't let the day get away from you.
So a light blue horse-drawn carriage pulls up at your hail and takes you uptown. The carriage pulls up at a really fancy-looking tailor. It's got not faded gold lettering.
Oh, of course not.
What do you think the tailor's shop is called?
Carlisle and Carlisle.
There you go.
That sounds like a law firm.
and the caption underneath it is a thread to remember.
Oh, no.
With like one of those, a thread with a needle thread kind of like accenting it kind of deal.
James hops out of the carriage. He was riding up front with the driver because it's outdoors. Just a little nicer. Likes the breeze.
Which drives Pickleson nuts every time he calls shotgun, because that's really his job. But he does his best to get out of the carriage before you get off the carriage and offers Ivy a handout.
Thank you, Penny.
It's a busy cobblestone road with many a horse-drawn carriage and a few of the newfangled steam horseless carriages putter about as well. There's a large window display of expertly tailored high fashion suits and a couple of dresses.
Okay.
And the bell rings on the door as you enter. And a scrawny black-haired man. He's got a vest and a shirt. And he's got the measuring tape around his neck, and he spots Luther. And he's like,
Luther, your sister said you were coming. Come in. It's been forever since I've seen you.
It has, hasn't it? I have friends.
Come in. I've got everything prearranged for you.
Oh, really? Okay.
Your sister said you would be bringing folk, and she sent along their measurements.
Oh.
So we've got some outfits to go. How are you finding the suit I sent over earlier?
I'm finding it perfectly wonderful as far as color and everything like that. I hear that it's supposed to look good on me. I haven't worn it yet because I didn't want to get it dirty.
You haven't worn it yet?
I didn't want to get it dirty.
I mean, I was going to say I was disappointed that you're not wearing it now, but if you haven't even tried it on...
It's been a rush. My sincerest apologies.
It's just a masterpiece. It's fine.
Well, we could try it on now. Oh, can I flip a story point to say Nicholson was ready and has it?
yes, you can.
Where did you get that?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
My friends.
Your friends, and any friend of Luther really is a friend of mine.
Oh, my apologies. Ivy, this is Anthony.
How do you do?
It is a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. Yes, I have something in a lovely shade that you're going to just right towards the back. Anita will assist you.
Anita. Okay. And I'm being pushed out the door to the back of the back. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Watch out for her pins.
Who's pin?
All right. Now, for you gentlemen, we have a little more traditional. I wasn't sure what your color palettes would be. I got the measurements, but I don't have everything. But of course, we want to compliment Lord Lockwood here, and I think you'll find the top hats in particular top-notch.
Well, just remember, though, Lord Lockwood should shine where we should blend into the background.
He just kind of dies a little inside. You see his shoulders kind of shrink just a little bit on that.
Yes, so, Lord Lockwood, if you would, there is a room right there. You can try this on, and gentlemen, if you would come with me.
Very well. I will be back shortly. I promise I won't leave, Penny.
If I had a gold piece for every time he told me and promised he wasn't leave, we could buy our own steamer and sell out west.
In the back, Anita is also particularly spindly, and she's got a dress on the mannequin, or whatever the fitting thing is called. Crystal, will you describe for us what kind of dress Anita has made for Ivy?
Ivy is very familiar with this whole situation and having to be fitted and wear the right things. And so she kind of just like gets into position, like her face is like checked out. Like, this is okay. I know how this goes. I'm just going to stand on the thing and put my arms out and you're going to measure me. And all right. Not interested, not excited, but she knows what to do. And she's just going to stand there and do what she's supposed to do.
Anita sees you coming in. Is that,
well, welcome in, my child. Come in, stand. Yes, just like that.
Here. Yes.
Oh, perfect. I've seen you've done this before. Excellent. We'll just confirm the measurements here, and then we're going to try this on. Now I'm just going to pin right here, dear. Very good. You stand very still, very well. Now we opted for a high empire waist for its variance fashion this season, and this embroidery applique here on the bodice will look very nice. And the color matches your complexion very well. The lady did very good job at describing you to my brother. Again, another pin here, dear.
I think that Ivy should have the honor of making her first roll. This will be a similar roll for everybody, but we need a resilience check because this is boring.
Okay.
And this is, I mean, you've been in this situation before. You described that quite well. You probably have a boost dice, and this is just an average check. I don't think it's particularly overbearing. It's just not exciting.
What is the check for? I'm confused. What am I rolling for?
This was not how you wanted to spend your day, so we're gonna give you some strain depending on how you roll.
It's a boredom check.
It's a boredom check.
Oh, okay. All right. So what am I rolling against?
2 purple.
Thank you.
So your net result is 2 advantage, but you do fail this check. I think for 2 advantage, Anita doesn't necessarily notice that you nodded off during this process. Up front with Anthony, I'm going to flip. You guys are going to make the same check because he's the salesperson, and he has a captive audience.
So we're also rolling resilience?
We're rolling resilience, yes.
And he's trying to sell to us.
He is very happy that you're there. Basically, he is unaware that you guys aren't looking forward to being at a high society ball. And so he's telling you,
And these couplings they've come all the way from the capital to here. I was able to acquire the right set for them. Now, you two, this off-tarkle suit will complement Lord Lockwood quite well. But you need to stand with these within 3 feet behind him, off to the side, on either side, just so that the pouts don't overlap in an inappropriate way, and the heads stay on.
How about this one, this drab green? I think it would go well, right?
Lavender and green?
We're good at
No?
We're going to set this down. No, set this down.
No, I like this one.
I've made a head for you.
But this hat's nicer.
This is an entire ensemble. If you would like to come back and shop later, I'd be more than...
Oh, no, I don't make enough to shop here.
So he's a purple and a red for your check. I'm flipping once to upgrade for all of you guys, but you can argue
Can
what
we
you like.
flip once to upgrade us?
Yeah.
Can I ask for a boost because I am used to the dual issues of academia, which are people arguing and boredom?
Creative.
I'll take that. Yeah.
1 success, 1 advantage.
Okay. What would you like for your advantage? Do you want the green hat?
No, I get to pick my own cufflinks.
Okay. Describe these cufflinks for me.
I think they're little dragons.
Little dragons. Okay.
Yeah. Just little like snaky serpentine body with wings.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Awesome.
What color?
Gold. Yeah, I think they're probably like brass or something, but yeah.
Yellow metal. Got it.
What do you got for me, AJ?
I think he will be a lot more. I need to be able to be mobile in this, and I'll have to be able to hide my pistol. And so I think he'll be very forthright with, don't forget, I'm a veteran professor and I have proper upbringing. And don't forget, Lockwood sent us in here. So make sure things are done right.
I don't do them any other way, Professor Pickleson.
Well, I would expect nothing less. So I would like to take a strain to get a boost for my proper upbringing. 0 successes, 3 advantage. Yeah, I can definitely see Penny getting bored and let's get on with it. And you know what you need to do. I'm not really questioning what you need to do. I just like for you to get it done so we can get on with this. Please.
Yes, Professor. We hadn't planned on these alterations, but I mean, what Julia asks for and all that.
Julia gets. Yes, we know. I'm with you.
I can make these alterations.
I appreciate it.
All right. And Chris, where's Luther at?
Well, he true to his word, he didn't leave. He may have tried the window once, just out of idle curiosity in the changing room.
It doesn't open.
It doesn't open, exactly. I was going to say it's already locked for some reason. So, that's a fire hazard. But he eventually comes out dressed in this attire, and obviously it probably needs to be fitted or tucked up a little bit or adjusted slightly. He does eventually come out with the top hat and the cane provided, which kind of surprised that she provided him with a cane, but got to have the ensemble. And comes and says, you're getting fitted. Excellent. You didn't leave. Wonderful.
Let's have Lockwood make a just an average vigilance check.
Average vigilance. Okay. Not stacking the deck against me on this?
Nah.
Okay.
If I'm within short range, you get 2 boosts to that.
You're within short range. That's
I
fine.
will absolutely take those 2 boosts. I do have a decent vigilance. Okay. All right. Here we go. Rolling vigilance. Let's see what comes up. 1 advantage. thanks to Penny.
So for an advantage on this vigilance check, you happen to notice the group, they're in their ensemble as you come out of the fitting room. They are getting the kind of final measurements taken, and Anthony is taking down the notes for it. And you see him nervously look out the window. Thank you for listening to the latest episode of the Foxglove Letters. We hope you've enjoyed the adventure so far and can't wait to see where the story goes. Before we go, we want to let you know that we love hearing from our listeners. If you have a question for our players, their characters, a comment on the story, or just want to say hello, drop us a line at diceycantina@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Dicey Cantina for behind-the-scenes artwork and world building. Or if you just prefer to chat, join the Discord. Links to everything are in the show notes. If you're enjoying the show, please consider giving us a 5-star rating and review on your favorite podcast platform, as it helps us grow the show and reach more listeners. We want to give a special shout out to our amazing NPC voices this episode with Erica and Mary Frances and Ben. The Foxglove Letters is a creation of Dicey Cantina, playing Genesis by Edge Studio. Until next time, dear listeners, don't forget the words of Mr. Cunningham when he said, "Don't just watch the world pass you by. Reach out and grab the stars."